Hi, it is Sunday, October 12th, 2025. I just got back from a coin show. It's only the second time I've been to this coin show, and I showed up right at the start. The last time I went, I showed up there midway through the show, and the standard is for people to show up at the beginning of a coin show. Excuse me. To try to buy, if there's deals, people want to get them before anyone else gets them. That's kind of the standard thinking in these things. Well, I showed up and there was heavy rain, and it was about half as many cars as what I had seen last time midday. So a light open, which didn't shock me because right now, a lot of coin show is silver trading. I mean, they've got gold coins, they've got other collectibles, they've got coins that are clad coins, but that are rare coins or rare, copper pennies, things of this. There's all kinds of collectible coins, but silver is a big part of that market. A lot of collectible coins are silver, and there's also just silver bullion that gets exchanged at these coin shows. So, but right now there's this global physical squeeze going in silver, and it's created some uh, anomalies in the market. So I think at this point, if you've been following this channel, if you have any interest in silver whatsoever, you understand that it's been in backwardation, meaning the futures price in New York is selling below the global physical price, which is an anomaly. Normally it's reversed. So if I buy silver in the COMEX to be delivered in December, I'm paying a lower price than I would pay for silver in hand right now. Even though the other party has to pay to store and insure that until December. So normally you would pay a premium. So this has affected the market. So wholesalers, or even let's just say wholesalers to keep it simple, essentially hedge uh, their inventory through short positions in the futures market. So right now, physical silver, for simplicity, is, we're going to call it $50. That's where it was trading when we closed. Uh, the futures close was around 47.50. So they're hedging their physical inventory. These dealers or these wholesalers, these kind of big players in the retail bullion market who have lots of inventory, they have short. They're short on COMEX, so they essentially have contracts that promise to deliver silver, um, that they're holding, that are traded at 47.50. At least they were when it was closed, when it closed on Friday. So uh, what that means is that a lot of dealers in America, to buy back, dealers buy and sell, they're basing their buying prices, what they're going to buy from the public, on that short, because that's how they're hedging. So they can't risk paying higher that paying physical, and then the head, and then having to deliver at a lower price. So, but one dealer in particular on the internet has come out and said he's going to sell at that futures price as well as buy. I'm going to tell you right now, he's making a fucking mistake. And because this is what a squeeze is where you're going to get this divergence between promises and physical, and you don't want to be selling physical for the promised price. This guy's making a mistake, and sooner or later this market's going to figure this out. This is why I showed up to the coin show at 8 a.m. when it opened, because I thought people are misinformed, and a lot of dealers, they don't quite know where to price right now. And I said there's gonna be people making mistakes, because something else that's happened is the refineries right now. One of the big refineries, like the biggest one, has said they are not accepting 90% silver, or uh, sterling, or any other impure silver. They only want pure silver that they can refine essentially into these LBMA bars, which are 1,000 ounce bars, and that's what they need in London, and that's the hub of this physical squeeze. So, um, but just because there's a backlog, just because the refineries aren't buying this stuff right now, which I'm going to show you in a minute. This is what I got. Um, just because they're not buying it doesn't mean that it's not real silver, and that it's not really worth that global physical price. It is. It's just they're not a buyer in that market. But just because a refinery isn't a buyer in that market doesn't mean that silver is not worth that price. Um, and eventually, this refining backlog is not going to last forever. Eventually, they're going to start accepting 90% again. They're going to accept sterling again. And when they do, the physical metal is going to be worth that physical price. So, but because of this, dealers who are, or wholesalers who are accustomed to selling to refineries, because America's been selling silver, retail Americans, like they're the one of the few groups in the world that's still supplying the silver market. Um, because because Americans are broke, and B, because a lot of Americans simply don't understand the market, and they're trying to take paper profits, um, not understanding that um, that you only need to price this in gold at this point to understand its real value, because the dollar is losing uh, its it's becoming a bad unit of account. Um, so this is but the point is, these dealers, people, they Americans have been net sellers, and now there's no one to buy this junk that these dealers are buying. So I went in there thinking I'm going to buy junk silver, because a they might be mispricing their sales off the futures price below physical, and B, because uh, they might be mispricing junk because the normal buyer isn't a buyer right now, even though they will be, and it's still physical silver. So, I did a walk around the room. I was looking to see if anyone had prices listed on junk or on bullion, and I couldn't find any. Everyone had these collectible cases sitting out, a lot of collectible coins. No one was really advertising bullion, even though I think most dealers have it behind the table. Uh, and so I did a walk around the room. Right near the end of the walk, one guy had a lot of silver coinage out in his case, and he had a sign saying "silver rounds, $43." Well, I wasn't gonna believe that anyone would really be selling rounds for $43 when the spot price is 50, and even the futures price is still 47.50. I mean, you'd be out of your mind. But I thought, let me hover at this table for a minute and at least kind of get a feel for what's going on. And so, the guy asked me, what I was looking for. I said, I was really looking for bullion. He said, as opposed to a collectible. He said, I was like, he's like, yeah, we got some bullion. He started asking me about, about a tube of rounds, And I said, well, what about junk silver? You got any junk? And he said, yeah, I got some silver dimes. And as he was right next to his brother was right next to him with a table who had silver quarters, silver halves. And these these junk pieces, though, they have them individually um, in these things, right? And these, so I we did get to talk. He took his sign down, the 43 rounds. When I pointed that out, I was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh no, that's wrong." I was like, "Okay, just making sure." So, but long story short, these coins are, every $1 in face value is worth $35.60, something around there. I worked this out before I went in there based on the spot price. I bought these $1 face value. I bought them at $34. So I bought them at a discount of about $1.60 per ounce under spot during what I believe is going to be the greatest physical commodity squeeze of all time. That is unbelievable. And these were real nice guys I bought from. I almost felt like I was swindling them because I just understand the market better than this coin show at this time. Public information. That's why I want to show up early, because my thought is, over the day, there is smart money in America. And the problem is, though, most smart money's already got doesn't have a cash position because they're already loaded up. And I didn't have that much cash, unfortunately. I mean, I had some. I'll tell you, I won't even tell you how much I want. I guess it was, some people would consider it a reasonable amount. So I bought $20 in face value, I'll tell you. And but I didn't just get junk silver either. Like, normally you buy junk, you're getting either Roosevelt dimes, Washington quarters, maybe like very worn standing liberties where there's no date anymore because it's worn off. Maybe Kennedy half dollars. These are kind of like the most common um, junk silver. But these guys, these were coins that I believe they originally priced to try to sell individually with a slight numismatic premium. Um, you know, this 1914 D. This is a, what the hell is this? What's this guy? It's not a. It's not a Mercury. This is a Mercury. I don't think this isn't a Barber either. This is something else. I I guess I should learn my stuff. Maybe it is a Barber. So there's a Mercury. I got a Franklin half. But I mean, some of these, I can tell, like $3 was just the price of like some of these dimes are priced at 3. Some of them are priced at 4. The ones at 4, I think, are the ones that have some potential numismatic premium. But right now, no one can sell anything. And I'm telling you, if they're selling this stuff, I mean, look at the condition of this. I mean, I wonder if this has been cleaned. This must have been. I mean, look at that. Freaking, like, looks brand new. It must be cleaned, right? 1942. See, they were selling this for $5. So I got a coin guy. He can look at these and he can tell me if I got any real gems. He knows a lot. And I mean, I'm just looking through here. So this is So yeah, this is a barber. I think that one I showed you was. So there's another barber. There's another Mercury that looks like very, very. Again, it might be cleaned, and if it's cleaned, it's not worth anything over just the metal price. But they're all worth the metal price, and I paid less than that. So, I mean, I got these Standing Liberty. I mean, this one's. I don't know. Well, I don't know if this is interesting to you guys. These Franklin, I like these Franklin halves, and I got one that was this Franklin. I don't know. Again, I hope it's not cleaned. I hope it really is in this good a condition, because this is a double die reverse. So apparently, on the back side, like some of the printing is like doubled over if you look at it with a magnifying glass. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna have my coin guy look at this and tell me if I got a real gem. If maybe some of these coins I end up sending off to get graded, and then have like a true numismatic piece that I just bought at a coin show, because people are desperate. Because people, there's guys out there, dealers, who they've seen this price run up before and they're nervous. And not just dealers, but customers. And they're selling because they want to make that paper profit because they don't understand the market. And it's good to understand it, I guess. I don't know why I just put all these in here. I was actually keeping that double die. I wanted to keep that one separate, because that out of the whole collection, I think that's the one that potentially has the most potential at being something better than just a piece of junk, just the metal content. So anyway, I'm going to show you the bag here. This is what I got. And if you're near a coin show right now, there aren't a lot of retailers open on a Sunday before the market's open, but there is an actual physical market that's open, at least around here. So we got this market opening later today, and this just feels very real to me. It feels like this really is. I mean, these tariffs, 100%. Like, things are breaking like this. We're at a crux here. We're at a changing point. Things have hit ahead, and I just had to make a video about this purchase. No one should be selling physical silver right now, because my last video, I said, once London goes no offer, then people are going to be looking for offers wherever they can get them. And I just got an offer under spot for potentially numismatic coins. It was incredible. What a day.